video has been a year and a half in the making. I think I promised you this video January 2018. That's when I started testing anyway and like really taking notes for all these deodorants, man. So we're finally gonna do it. The title's clickbait. I didn't try every cruelty-free deodorant because that would probably take the rest of my life, especially now with so many companies coming out with so many cruelty-free deodorants. So I'm gonna share my thoughts on all of these guys. We have different formulas. We got powders, we got roll-ons, we got wipes, we got solids, we have rub-ins with your hand. And the reason why this video's taken so long is because I wanted it to be like really formal. I was gonna create like a whole spreadsheet for this that you could download and get all of my thoughts in like a written document. And then I thought that's just too much. Like that's just ridiculous. Like we don't need that. It doesn't need to be that deep. It's just deodorant. I think when people decide to go cruelty free, deodorant is one of those things that just doesn't work when you want to be cruelty free. And I get it because they're natural, don't work because they don't have aluminum in them, but aluminum is also not great for you. So we have some ones that are flops 100% that are just fails that I would say skip on. We have some middle, most of them are middle grounds, but we got some stars in this video though. We have two brands that are like the superstars of deodorants as far as cruelty-free deodorants go. So hopefully you find something in this video. I do want to remind you guys that everyone is different. There's people who have different reactions to different ingredients. So do keep that in mind because this is just my opinions on these deodorants. It doesn't mean the deodorants won't work for you or that they will work for you. So there's no guarantees, but these are just my thoughts. So a little bit of background on my pits because I feel like that's gonna influence how you perceive my opinions about the deodorants is that I have sensitive skin and I have hyperhidrosis. So that means I am constantly sweating all the time, middle of winter, no matter what I'm wearing or what temperature it is, I'm sweating. So as far as the commentary that I want to give, I'm going to talk about the scent, the price point, how it applies because there's very different methods for every cruelty-free deodorant on application, accessibility, and then stopping odors if it works. Like how does it work? I also tried to test them under different circumstances like lazy days, running errands, interacting with people, which activates my hyperhidrosis a lot, and exercising. Also, I want to say all these deodorants are obviously cruelty-free, but they're also all vegan. So I have a couple high-end deodorants for you guys. So you'll hear my thoughts on some famous cruelty-free high-end expensive deodorant. Well, not that I didn't like buy super expensive ones, but like more pricey ones than your $5 deodorants at Walmart, you know? But most of the video is going to be affordable because I feel like even if it is a really good deodorant, most people are not gonna spend $20 on a deodorant. Oh hey, so future Sarah here to talk to you today about our sponsor. We have a sponsor for today's video, which I'm so excited about. It is no other than Skillshare. I love working with Skillshare. Obviously, I've promoted them a lot in the past. It is a service that I genuinely use and love and pay for myself. In case you aren't aware, Skillshare is an online learning community of over 25,000 classes on varying topics such as business, design, arts and crafts, how to run your Instagram page, like photography, even learning languages and creative writing, which are the things that I've been using it a lot for lately. They have a lot of different types of classes for different types of creative writing, which is one of my passions and one of my hobbies, by the way, in case you didn't know. But I can say out of all the classes that I've taken, they make it really approachable and easy to learn. Like this one here, Creative Writing for All, a 10-day journaling challenge. I find journaling to be one of the best practices when it comes to creative writing. But of course, Skillshare is hooking it up for my viewers, so the first 500 people to click on the link in the description box will get 2 months unlimited access to Skillshare for free, and then after that, an annual membership is only around $10 a month. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being patient with my sponsors and everything, and now let's jump back into regular scheduled programming. Got cat bathing in the background. Let's start with Nubian Heritage. This one I originally found at Nugget, I believe, but I have recently seen it at my local Walmart, which is just like your in-town grocery Walmart. It's not even your full blown like superstore Walmart. So I feel like this is pretty accessible, this brand. You can obviously buy it online, which is going to be the most expensive option, but go to your local Walmart, maybe your Nugget. I think Ulta also, or not Ulta, Ulta sells it too, but Whole Foods also sells it. So this is pretty much available everywhere. The scent that I got is the Indian Hemp and Haitian Vetiver, and it is delicious. 5 out of 5 for smell, man. I obviously used it all up. I did really enjoy this deodorant. It is the best application probably out of all of these. It just feels like a normal deodorant, like a not cruelty free one. It doesn't feel like a natural deodorant, which sometimes can either be really like milky, where it's like leaving some some stuff in there and you can like feel it. It's like a really weird feeling. Or they're really, really dry where you have to like put it in your pit and hold it there to warm it up, and then you can go through the motions, which I think is really important for sensitive skin, is to make sure you're not having to like scratch at your armpit. Like you don't want to sit there and like scrub away trying to get product off, which there are some brands in here that do that. However, this to me, I use on like days where I don't really leave the house. I'll use it before bed. I am a night deodorant wearer. I feel like it stopped my odor sometimes, but not in other times. So I don't know if it was like stress sweat situations where it just didn't work as well, but definitely for chilling at home and like low energy type things, this is really good. It says it's 24-hour deodorant. It's not. I also want to point out that when you switch to a natural deodorant, you're gonna have like a detox period where you're gonna smell a lot and you're gonna think that natural deodorants aren't gonna work for you, but you just have to go through that period of time, and then it'll eventually, your body will adjust to the new deodorants and it will start to work. You just have to find the right one for you, which is the biggest process of all. You're still probably gonna have to try at least 3 or 4 to find your perfect deodorant. I tried 14 and I found my perfect one, but you know, I still hope this video gives you a little direction as to where to start. So Nubian Heritage, one of the better ones, but not the best. Okay, so next up, let's do the like hippie deodorant. This is a crystal deodorant. And I mean, not just the brand, it's a literal crystal. So this is a natural mineral salt rock. I don't know how it works either, and it really doesn't to me, but that's, you know. Price point, this brand Crystal is one of the better ones. It's like really, really cheap. I think it's the cheapest one, honestly, out of all of the ones that I'm going to talk about. This is just weird to apply. I don't like the application process because you have to get it wet. You like wet it in the sink and then you put it on, and then you're just chilling with wetness in your armpits, and it's a very weird thing. You're just rubbing a rock on your armpits, so it's odd. I honestly was more impressed with how much it did work, because it didn't work very well. It was probably on par with the Nubian Heritage one, which wasn't great as far as stopping odor. I was surprised it even did that though. I was really expecting it to do nothing, so it did a little something. I don't know if I recommend it, but for the price, I think this at Whole Foods, this is the sample size. This was like $2.99 or something like that. Also, the full size, which retails for $6.99, is apparently said to last a whole year, because it's just a salt crystal, so it's not gonna rub away as much as product would. Anyway, I found this one at Whole Foods. You can get it on Amazon and I think on Walmart, but it looks like a different seller and it's not the best price. For the best price, you're gonna find this at Whole Foods, but overall it's not that accessible either, so not the greatest one either. Next up, we have Tom's long-lasting deodorant. Again, 24-hour odor protection. It is not in fresh apricot. This is one that was highly recommended to me by all of you guys. This specific scent, for some reason, definitely 5 out of 5 for scent. It is just, it smells delicious. It kind of falls in the same category though as Nubian Heritage. It doesn't work great as far as stopping odors for a long period of time, but it is comfortable to apply. It's a smooth one, so it's one of those that feel a lot like our old deodorants, are, you know, aluminum deodorants that are just like quick boom boom. This one was hard to track down, this apricot scent. I think I found this one at Whole Foods eventually, and the price was good. It was around $4. Tom's is a very good brand as far as affordability. They do sell this brand at Walmart and Target. I just couldn't find this specific scent, which for some reason was highly recommended, which the scent itself is great. One thing about Tom's, I guess I'll just go into the men's deodorant from Tom's. I did back in the day used to use men's deodorant, so I'm open to trying cruelty-free men's deodorants, and Tom's has a couple scents. You can find these at Walmart and Target, I believe. This is in the scent Mountain Spring. Smells like apricot to me. They are literally the same scent. I'm not even lying. Go and smell them side by side. They're the exact same. They're the exact same scent. I don't know why this one's marketed as Mountain Spring. It's the same formula. They work the exact same, so in case you're curious if natural deodorants in men's work better, they don't. They're the same formula as women's deodorants. So those are those two. Pretty much they're the same thing. So again, I like to apply these at night, chilling around the house. It lasts for a couple hours, but then I'll have to reapply. Next up, we gotta talk about the Pacifica underarm wipes. These I don't understand why they're even deodorant wipes. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm applying anything. It literally just feels like I'm cleaning my underarms. Like, I just don't see or feel any residue that like acts as a deodorant, so it doesn't work for me as a deodorant. However, I would repurchase these because of the convenience of like if I'm camping and I need a little cleanup in the pit area. But at the same time, they're not eco-friendly because wipes are not great for the environment. They're, you know, highly disposable and we just throw them away. So it is not the best option. The smell, by the way, this is the one, coconut milk and gardenia. Smells like apricots, like straight up apricot. Also, it's $9 for a pack of 30. Who spends $9 per month on deodorant? So this is not a functional item that you would use as your regular deodorant. This is definitely a special circumstance situation, and it's still very wasteful, so I don't really recommend it. Although it works as a cleaning wipe, I don't feel like it's gonna do anything odor-wise, and it's just a waste of money and a waste to the environment. Now we're gonna talk about my most used brand that I have reached for over the years, which is most of this pile. This is all one brand. This is Schmidt's. I feel like I'm introducing you guys. This is Schmidt's. So as you can see, I've tried all of their formulas, most of their scents. I have a lot of their limited edition collections here, like their Christmas collection. I got that. I have their summer collection. This was summer 2018, but I think they came out with this line again this year. This is my most recent Schmidt's I bought, is Lily of the Valley. I have their Earth and Wood, which basically straight up smells like patchouli. And then the best scent that I've ever tried from Schmidt's is the Bergamot and Lime. And this one I found at Marshall's for $4.99. So just for full transparency, back in the day, I think in 2016, I was sent PR from Schmidt's. They reached out to me and wanted to send me a little gift a gift box of some of their deodorants, and that's kind of where I fell in love. So they didn't pay me or anything, and that was, you know, 3 years ago, so that would have been long gone by now. But obviously I repurchased it myself, and it is a formula that I genuinely love. I've tried their sensitive skin formula. However, I prefer the regular formula and tend to reach for that the most. So this is a brand that is one of the top two for me personally. I know some people have had issues with Schmidt's in the past as far as like causing a rash, because I think it has baking soda in it and some people can be a little bit allergic to that. Personally, I am not. I've never had an issue with Schmidt's. They've never caused a rash ever. So I feel like this is a really good option. The price point is a little bit more expensive, but it's definitely mid-tier. It's nothing outrageous. And also they sell this at Urban Outfitters. They sell it at Whole Foods. They sell this pretty much everywhere, so it's highly, highly accessible for most people. That's why this is one of my top ones that I would recommend, because you're gonna be able to go to the store and pick one up instead of having to order online or go to a specialty store like Nugget, Sprouts, or Whole Foods. And it's honestly one of the most effective ones. These are one of my go-tos for stopping smell when I have to leave my house. I find that the sensitive skin formula, although is great for sensitive skin, obviously, it's not going to cause that irritation that some people have with the regular formula. I don't find it to be as effective smell-wise as far as like covering odors. The sensitive skin formula is a lot softer of a texture. This is one of the ones that is hard when you first start to apply it, and you got to warm it up. You got to stick it in there and then let it do its thing, and then, you know, do your thing. It is like a hard deodorant, so sometimes it can be a little bit scratchy, so don't force it, because if you give it some time, it will loosen up and you'll be able to apply it like any other deodorant. So next up with Schmidt's, the other formula that I've tried is the pot deodorant. This is probably the most eco-friendly option in this list if you're into that, if that's like a priority for you, but probably one of the worst applications that you're gonna see in this video. But obviously, I've used it, I've committed. I really enjoyed this one actually. So basically it's a pot deodorant. You have a little spatula, you just take a little chunk, I take about like that much per pit, and then you take it in your fingers and you rub it up, warm it up in your hands, and then you apply it to your underarms. It's not that complicated when, I mean, most people are gonna be a little like resistant to doing the process of applying this deodorant, so it's not for everyone. For a long time, this is the only deodorant I owned, and I used it every day and it worked fine. You get used to it, you just apply it and wash your hands. It's really not a big deal. But the reason why I think it's the most eco-friendly is because it comes in a jar that you could reuse if you wanted to, and there's a lot less plastic. There's less product in here, but I feel like like you use less of this. Like this is gonna take me a long time to go through as opposed to a regular size deodorant. Sorry about the lighting. I'm filming late in the day, which never happens for me, but the sun is kind of like over on the other side of the building, so that's why the lighting's a little bit weird now. All right, next up we have Crystal again. Good old Crystal. This is the same brand as the Salt Crystal, like the actual Crystal, but this is the chamomile green tea roll-on. So this is a liquid. This scent, hands down, probably the best smell out of all of these deodorants. Like this is my favorite scent by far, but again, it's just like these, the Nubian Heritage and the Toms. They're just all similar. They're mid-tier. They're not great, but there are other aspects of them that make them good, but not fantastic for odor. I don't like wet deodorants, so the application for me is just kind of like I don't want to reach for it usually. Obviously, it's not going to leave white marks, so that's a selling point for you if you are worried about a deodorant, like a cream deodorant doing that. This obviously won't because it's a liquid. This is pretty much the same thing as the Crystal one, except it has water in it and fragrance, so it also, what makes it work is the natural mineral salts in the liquid. So overall, this is very, very affordable. It's super, super cheap. I think this was like $3. Like it's so affordable, if not cheaper than regular deodorants, like not natural deodorants. Anyway, but yeah, this is another mid-tier one I would repurchase because the scent just brings a lot of joy to me, but the application and the functionality of odor stopping isn't the greatest. So let's talk about some high-end expensive deodorants, shall we? I'm gonna tell you right now, no expensive deodorant is gonna be worth it as far as like brand name. Like just don't do that. That's weird. There are just cheaper options for like good product, you know? Like why would you spend this much? I don't know, which might be hypocritical in a second. You'll see at the end. First up, we have Lavanila. This is a very famous brand at Sephora. A lot of people recommend this deodorant. I have the Sport Luxe and the regular Pure Vanilla. This set was $13, which you get about 2 ounces with these two. And that's ridiculous. That's a lot of money. And then the regular priced one, a single size, goes for $14 to $18 depending where you get it. Also, they didn't work for me. I had such high hopes for these because they were so expensive. I'm like, surely because they're a lot of money and they're a reputable brand, they're gonna work for me. I know this for a fact. They're gonna work. For me, they just didn't. And if anything, the Sport Luxe one, which you would think would work better, was worse than the regular one. And also, not a fan of the scent. This smells so bad to me. This smells like, it's like clean, but like perfumated. It is strong. Like this scent is strong. I do not recommend. I cannot stand how these smell at all. And they're so fragranced that it lasts for so long. Whereas the other ones I love, but they're like subtle scents. They're light. They go away in an hour. Like these ones will stick with you and they smell really bad. So definitely not worth the money, at least for me. So the other high-end deodorant that I decided to try is Tarte's Clean Queen, which is $14, I think, for this size, and it is 2 ounces again. Can I just say that Schmidt's is 3.2 ounces for like $8? Care for this scent either, but it's definitely more subtle. It's a very sweet smelling one, so it's like clean but like sugary almost. Accessibility as far as this goes isn't great. Same with these. Because they're more high-end, you kind of have to get them in Sephora, Ulta, makeup stores, things like that. This is obviously a makeup brand with Tarte, so you're gonna be able to get it wherever you can find Tarte. I mean, it has cute packaging. At least it has that going for it. It's definitely the most attractive looking deodorant in this bunch. I swear some days it smelled like I didn't put any deodorant on at all, but other times it would work. So I think again it's that stress sweat situation where it was like it doesn't work in high stress situations or if I'm exercising, but day to day at home chillin', like short errands, it's not bad. It's another mid-tier as far as like functionality of stopping odors, but for the price and the scent and everything, it's just not the greatest. Application's good though. It's really soft and smooth. Another mid-tier one that's basically the same kind of situation as Tom's. It is Jason. This is one that you can find at like discount stores like Marshall's and TJ Maxx. I see it there a lot for like, this one was $3.99. The scent is nice. It's very lavender. So it's pretty strong lavender, but it kind of goes away. It has a really nice application. It is one of those that's like smooth. Yeah, you don't like that at all. No, he does not like lavender. It's a smooth application, you know, you don't have to work for it, and it is affordable, so you could try it out, but for me, it just wasn't the greatest for odor protection. It's kind of like the same thing with Tom's. Like, it's nice, but the scent isn't good enough that I would repurchase it, but the application's nice, so yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So next up we have Myro, which I think is a newer brand, and they actually reached out to me to send me this one on Instagram, so I did post about this recently. This is actually, I'm gonna say, the most eco-friendly deodorant, and it's also, I think, the cutest. And what's cool is you can customize this completely. You pick the color of the packaging and you pick the scent that goes in it. So this is the most customizable deodorant and the most eco-friendly because it is refillable. You can buy the inserts of the deodorant themselves instead of having to repurchase the outer exterior packaging. And it starts at $10, which I think is really good. I'm not paid to say this, by the way. They don't know they're gonna be in this video at all. For me, this was a little bit better than the mid-tier deodorants that we talked about, you know, like these ones, the Tom's ones. It's a little bit better, and the scent's really nice, and the application's really nice, so I would say get this over the other ones if you want to order online. But that's just it, you have to order it online, and that's kind of a downfall. This didn't work as good as my favorite deodorant, which is gonna be last, save the best for last, but I would, you know, repurchase this. I like it. I like that it has the reusable packaging. That's a really nice selling point for me, but it didn't work as good as I would want it to. I'd have to reapply this, you know, another time during the day, so that's, you know, it's not the greatest one on this list, but we'll get there. Are you ready? It's coming next. Let's get to my favorite. Okay. Are you guys ready for the moment of truth? The big finale of my favorite deodorant that I have ever tried, and boy have I tried it. I've repurchased it a lot in the last year and a half because I love this stuff. Moody Sisters is the winner of the deodorants. This is hands down the best deodorant, natural deodorant, cruelty-free deodorant, vegan deodorant that I have ever tried. 2 sweet oranges already, like these 2 are empty now. I recently picked up a 3rd, and I picked up a new scent in Lavender Citrus, which is amazing as well. Still recommend the sweet orange, that's my favorite, but Lavender Citrus is not bad. So I obviously love this one. This was honestly one of the reasons why this video never happened either, is because I fell so in love with this that I just wanted to have this on hand all the time. So I kept repurchasing it, and then I just reached for it the most because it works the best. So I would end up postponing certain deodorants and not using them. But this is hands down the winner. The only downside that this has is that you have to order it online, which is so sad for accessibility reasons because you can't just go out and pick it up, you know? My life hack for that is to pick up a couple at a time so you only have to pay for shipping one time. This one just has the best application. The scents are amazing. They have so many different kinds of scents. I really want to try all of them. To order one deodorant and with shipping and everything is almost $17. So price and accessibility are definitely the biggest downfalls, but personally I just order 2 at a time to make the shipping worth it. And I also recently discovered their powder deodorant. This stuff is so cool. It is one of the most messy products that you could probably get, but I love this stuff. So it comes like this, and then you have this powder covered in deodorant now. Cool. Anyway, this is the best like deodorant topper, especially if you have hyperhidrosis. This is the only thing that I can really recommend in this video for hyperhidrosis because it is just so cool because it just absorbs the sweat. If you feel like you have like sweaty pits and you put this on, it absorbs all of it, and it is so dry. It doesn't last forever, obviously, because your sweat's still gonna come through later on. But it's really cool to like just freshen the underarm area. If you're gonna reapply your deodorant and tap a little of this on top, it's like a setting powder for your deodorant. Is that weird? So just to recap, my least favorites are definitely the high-end deodorants of Tarte and Lavanila, and my favorites are going going to be the Moody Sisters deodorant and the Schmidt's deodorant. Both of these are cream deodorants instead of liquids or anything like that, so the application for these is much better. Accessibility is much better for these, so it really depends on what your needs are going to be, what is most convenient for you, what your preferences are as far as like scents and everything goes. I'll link everyone's website where you can find this stuff online down below if you want to order it online, or if you want to look into any of the brands further or do some more research yourself. I'll try to have everything listed down in the description with the links and everything, so you have all the information there. I hope this video was thorough enough, and I'm sorry it's more casual than structured and formal like I wanted it to be, but I think we covered everything. And please feel free if you have any other questions or you want me to try any more or want me to do a part 2, because there are hundreds of cruelty-free deodorants. I could do a part 2 to this, so let me know down below. Also, let me know your favorite cruelty-free deodorant if you have one in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.